performed fairly well. We gave one up against a real good power play. We knew that that was part of their bread and butter. I thought we had a slow start, and our goaltender played extremely well early in the game, and then in those specialty situations, our power play got one. But when you do make mistakes, you rely on good goaltending, and we got that tonight.
How are you guys able to correct things kind of on the fly in the first to turn things around?
Well, I think that we decided we were going to play a little faster because we weren't real fast out of the gate, and we were in the right spots, but we weren't reacting real quick, and they were beating us to open ice, beating us to loose pucks, and overwhelming us a little bit. But once things settled down, I thought we played more our game and at our pace than we did in the first 5 minutes.
With all the big guns on the team, you get a goal from Lazat and Lewis at line. Just talk about the impact they've had so far this season.
Significant impact. The ability to, one, start the penalty kill each and every time. Grunny's got 3 goals already. They are a very trusting line. I know that 3 or 4 years ago there's a large group that wanted trusting players here. Well, there's 3 of them on that line right now that get the job done. And it's nice to have that. It's nice to be able to roll lines. What it does is it affects some other guys that are used to playing a little bit more. And if we're able to continue playing the way we are, we all have to accept that it's probably going to be a little bit less. And that's just the way it is. But we're fortunate to have those lines playing as well as they are right now.
Todd, after
the
Boston game, you mentioned you wanted to see Kevin shoot the puck a little bit more. I think he led the team with 7 attempts tonight. Is that more of what you want to see?
Yeah, he's so good visually with all his passes and stuff, but he has a tremendous shot. And his goal was the shortest shot he'll probably take all year is with 2 inches. But you got to go get those sometimes too in those areas. You can't always shoot from 20 feet out. Got his nose dirty in and around the net. He had a shooting mentality, which was a good thing for us and a good thing for him. And I'm sure he'll feel better now that he's, off that Ophir mound.
It was a toss-up game going into the third period, and you shut him out in the third. Thoughts on how well you played defensively and how well Phoenix played?
Well, it was a fairly even game all night. I thought we made some mistakes in the third that our goaltender had to cover up. That's perhaps what we were talking about earlier. We gave them opportunities off of our power play, not shorthanded chances, but we put them on the power play. A couple high sticking calls deep into our power play, all of a sudden they're going on it, and we had to rely on the goaltender in that situation and some good penalty killers to get the job done.
Todd, just outside of the shots, Kevin seemed to have one of his better games this season. He was controlling the pace of play and creating. Is this Kevin Fiala at his best right now?
Well, those are qualities that he applies to the game when he's playing his best. And I think that you recognize that by asking the questions with some of those qualities, and I would agree with you.
Net front play has been something that you've mentioned quite a few times. I imagine not super satisfied tonight. Where do you see that? And that really was those coverages hurt you. Otherwise, it seemed to play a pretty strong game defensively.
Most of the goals are going to be scored from net front. McBain's the first one, but that wasn't necessarily the mistake. The mistake happened in the corner. So it's hard for me to explain what net front is to us. Net front is at both ends of the arena too. I thought Kevin did a real good job of getting there. Kopi got hit twice with shots net front. He was going there. There was more authority offensively. We had some good box outs. We controlled some sticks in and around the net that we haven't been doing. They're quick. They have great escape skills. They're mobile. They're going to get some chances. But for the most part, Bukestad's goal, the rebound off the faceoff, that's a tough box out the way it happened. So we were better in those areas. It may not look that way, but we were.
Todd, you mentioned only giving up 1 power play goal. Only 1 ended up on the board, but 2 did end up going in. When you have a situation like that where something gets called back, do you just kind of throw away that minute that was lost, or can you evaluate a PK situation where you're scored on?
Well, we can look at it. You know, it's something that happened but didn't happen. You know, so we'll look at it and we'll look at some of the mistakes. I know we had 2D that were caught out there forever. You know, it ends up being 1 for 4 and 1 for 4. And we played a real good their power play even tonight. We'll take that.
Todd, are you okay winning games 6-3, 5-3? You're gonna have to win games at some point 3-2 and 2-1.
Well, we won 5-1 in Winnipeg. We're capable of doing it. I don't think that we're going to score 5 or 6 goals every night. I don't. And against Boston, we saw that we couldn't or didn't. So there are going to have to be 2-1 and 1-0 wins at some point. But we're still trying to figure our game out, and we'll take the offense to support the mistakes we're making and try and put wins in the column.
You mentioned it was a pretty even game. It felt like a game where an Arizona goal would wake your team up. They'd kind of go out and control play for a little bit, then fall back asleep and repeat that. Is that something you have to work on, or is that just the normal ebbs and flows of a game?
Well, I wouldn't say we fell asleep. I would say that we started slow, and then we got ourselves into the game. Again, some of the goals that were scored were odd. The face-off goal, Bukestad, we actually were in good coverage, and all of a sudden there's a 3-on-2 coming at us. So, you know, the penalty kill goal, the power play goal they scored, real good movement by them. Sometimes you just tip your hat and say, you know what, you made good plays. The early one was one that stung a little bit and is preventable, but you know, back and forth.
The pass and assist from Deneau, is that something you work on in practices?
The assist from Deneau on which goal was that? Moore's goal. We work on a lot of different things, but players have to have instincts and they have to be able to react to what's around them. We try and give them, we try and work on their individual skills, and there's many of them that go into the game. We try and put structure together in practice so that they can be predictable. But when you're thrown on the ice, who knows what's going to happen, and you got to rely on your talent and your instincts, and sometimes those are the things that come out.
That's 5th goal in 6 games for Trevor. I know you don't like predicting numbers for players, but are you at all surprised to see him come out the gate so hot with goal scoring? Not really his game in the past.
Well, not necessarily, because I think if he would have been able to stay healthy last year, he was having a pretty darn good year. I think Christmas rolled around, and then from there he chased it. If he could have put back-to-back front ends and back ends of a season together, we'd probably be talking about him as a goal scorer. So I'm not overly surprised. Okay, good night.
Thank you.